What if I told you the Utah housing market is shifting? Buyers are gaining leverage for the first time in years. And 2026 might be one of the best opportunities that we have seen in a very long time. But here's the problem. A lot of people are still making decisions based on what the market looked like in 2021 or 2023. And that mistake? It could cost you tens of thousands of dollars, whether you're buying or selling. So in this video, I'm gonna break down what's actually happening in the Utah housing market right now, where prices, rates, and competition are heading, and how to position yourself to win in 2026 and beyond. Let's get into it. For a lot of people, homeownership used to feel simple. You work hard, you save money, you buy a home, but in Utah, it hasn't felt that way for a while. According to recent surveys, housing affordability is still one of the top concerns for Utah residents. And honestly, that's not surprising at all. A few years back, we went through one of the most aggressive housing booms in the country. Between 2020 and 2022, home prices jumped by nearly 40%. And obviously that kind of growth is not normal. And ever since then, the buyers have been asking the same types of questions. Like, did I miss my chance? Should I wait? Is the market gonna crash? So let's clear that up right now. Here's the actual truth. Home prices in Utah are not crashing. We're not expecting a crash. We're not anticipating a crash, but they're also not exploding anymore. Right now, the median home price in Utah is around $574,000, which is up just 1.8% year over year. And that number honestly is good news. Why? Because we've shifted from an overheated and chaotic market into something that's much more stable, predictable, and sustainable. See, a healthy market actually looks a lot more like slow appreciation, less volatility, more negotiating power, not the tactics of let's throw everything in the offer and just hope something sticks. So if you're waiting for a massive price drop to come along, I wouldn't bank on it. But if you're waiting for a much more balanced market, that's actually already happening. I got my real estate license in 2010, which was kind of the middle/tail end of the great financial crisis of 2008. We were still dealing with a lot of the repercussions that happened during that crisis. It was very unfortunate. I saw a lot of people lose their homes. And really, that wasn't that long ago. So it's easy to see why some people are skittish. They think the prices have come up so much the last 5 years or so. Obviously, they have to come crashing back down, but that's not always the case. There's only really been 2 times over the past 100 years where we've seen home prices crash on a large national scale. One was during the Great Depression, the other was during the Great Recession of 2008. While there's always the possibility, the chances of something like that happening again are very slim. The world is a very different place now. We don't have all the subprime loans. They're not giving loans to anybody that has a heartbeat, but at the same time, you could argue that the market is overvalued. And with interest rates getting so high, affordability is at an all-time low. But that doesn't necessarily mean the market is gonna crash. So now let's talk about what the biggest factor in today's market is. Everybody knows it's interest rates. Over the past couple of years, interest rates have been the main thing that have held buyers back. And not just buyers, sellers too. It's hard for a seller to give up a 2.5%, 3% interest rate and go move into something else and get a 6% interest rate. But here's where things really start to get interesting. A lot of industry experts are predicting that interest rates will fall below 6%. In fact, they were below 6% just a couple of weeks ago. Unfortunately, world events have caused those interest rates to climb a little bit and get back up over 6. However, a lot of analysts predict that interest rates could get into the mid-5s before the end of the year. And that's a really big deal. I think if interest rates get below 5.5%, you're gonna see a lot of buyers come out of the woodwork. Even a modest drop in interest rates can increase your buying power significantly. And that can lower your monthly payment by hundreds of dollars. Not to mention tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars over the life of the loan. So what are smart buyers doing right now? They aren't waiting for the perfect rate. They're buying strategically with a plan to refinance later. Let's take a trip back to 2022 for a second. Homes on average were selling in 9 days or less. Buyers were waiving their inspections and all their contingencies. They're making their earnest money go hard upon acceptance, meaning non-refundable. Bidding wars were the absolute norm. We were seeing escalation clauses left and right, which is where a buyer agrees to beat the highest offer by a certain amount up to a certain point. We are seeing appraisal guarantees where if the home appraised for less than the offer amount, they would still pay the offer amount, sometimes paying tens of thousands of dollars over the appraised value. Yeah, it was crazy, and I was selling new townhomes as well as doing some resale at the time. The brand new homes that I was selling, I had a waiting list of over 400 people at one time. It was nuts. It was completely abnormal. You might think it's fun, yeah, it's so easy to sell things, but at the same time, the craziness was just over the top. And that type of a market, it wasn't healthy and it wasn't sustainable. But the market that we saw back in 2022, it's gone now. As of today, the inventory is up about 10 to 11%. Only about 15-16% of homes are selling above their asking price now, and that's a huge shift over just a few short years. But what does it mean for you? If you're a buyer, you have some time to think. You have the ability to negotiate. In many cases, you can get your closing costs covered. You can also get concessions for a rate buy down, which can save you hundreds of dollars a month. You can actually get inspections done and make sure the home is in a satisfactory condition without risking your earnest money. What does it mean if you're a seller? It means pricing strategy matters now more than it ever has. Overpricing will absolutely cost you. I see it again and again, and I say it time and time again. You have to price your home correctly out of the gate. Overpricing a home out of the gate is one of the easiest ways to ensure that your home will sit on the market long term. And what that will lead to is inevitable price reductions down the road, which in turn often leads to selling the home for less money than you would have if you would have priced it right initially. Also, presentation of your home is everything. Making sure that your home is very clean, decluttered, and properly staged, as well as ensuring that you get professional photos taken, is extremely important. I can't stress the professional photography enough. It's my opinion that every realtor should be offering professional photography to their clients. I know I do on every single home now, and I will moving forward. This is no longer a throw it on the market and win type of environment. You have to have a strategy. You have to have a plan. But the fact is Utah is still a hotspot for real estate. Even with all these changes in the market over the last few years, Utah is still one of the top real estate markets in the country. It's been ranked as one of the markets to watch in 2026, and here's why. We have very strong job growth, a young, educated population. We still have a lot of migration coming into the state from out of state, and we experience a very high quality of life here. And then there's the main thing that most people overlook. Utah has a supply problem. We're not currently building enough homes to keep up with demand long term. We have a shortage of homes. We have more people that are going to need homes in the future than we're able to supply homes for. So it becomes just a simple game of supply and demand. So while the market seems to have cooled off short term, the long term outlook is still extremely strong. And another point, there's one thing that a lot of buyers are sleeping on right now, and that's new construction. In some parts of Utah, it's actually cheaper to build a home than it is to buy an existing home. And we're seeing a lot of builders get very aggressive. You know, going back to the 2008 financial crisis, there were a lot of builders that went through some very hard times. A lot of them were stuck with inventory that they couldn't sell, and many of them went out of business. And like I said, we're nowhere near what we were in 2008, 2009. However, builders don't want to get stuck with inventory. They want their homes to sell so they can continue to build more homes. So these builders are offering things like large amounts of concessions, rate buy downs, lower interest rates, closing cost incentives, upgrade packages, and reduced pricing overall. Plus, these new homes often come with better energy efficiency, lower maintenance because everything's new, and it often comes with a builder warranty, as well as modern layouts that appeal to more buyers. If you're looking for a home in 2026 and you're not looking at new construction, you might be leaving a really good opportunity on the table. I've worked with dozens of new construction builders, and I also worked for one for 6 years selling their homes. I'm very experienced in working with new construction, so if that's an avenue you'd like to explore, I can certainly help. So let's bring it all together and determine how we can win in this market. If you're a buyer, it's my opinion that you shouldn't wait for housing prices to crash, because chances are they're not going to anytime soon, and it's not something you should count on. I would recommend watching interest rates very closely. It's a great time to take advantage of the lower competition that we're seeing in the market right now. You should feel like you have the ability to be a little bit more aggressive on your offers and ask the seller to provide you with some concessions. And you certainly shouldn't overlook new construction. If you're a seller, you should price your home correctly from day one. You should focus on the presentation of your home and marketing. You should understand that buyers have options now, and it may take a little bit longer, and you may have to be a little bit more aggressive to sell your home. And if you do everything correctly, you will see success. This market rewards strategy, not luck. So here's the bottom line. The Utah housing market in 2026 is not crashing, it's normalizing. And for a lot of people, that's an opportunity that they've been waiting for. If you're thinking about buying a home in Utah, I have put together a Utah home buying guide that will give you a step-by-step guide on what you need to do if you're looking to buy a home here. Just comment guide in the comments below and I'll send it over to you. For sellers, I've put together a free Utah pre-listing checklist that'll walk you through exactly how to prepare your home to maximize profit if you choose to sell. Just comment PLC in the comments below and I'll send that over to you as well. I'm gonna put all of my contact information in the description below. From there, you can book a call with me, you can check out my website and begin searching all Utah homes for sale, or you can call or email me anytime if you have any questions or if you'd like the opportunity to work together. People just like you call me every single week and ask me to help them buy or sell a home here in Utah, and I'd be happy to help you as well. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I'll be posting videos here every single week regarding Utah real estate, and if you found this video helpful at all, I'd encourage you to click this video right here to continue learning more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.